First of all, good evening. Now, let's talk about Saint Augustine. But let's talk first about the old Augustine before he became Saint Augustine. And let us connect his life to the gospel today. Okay? Sige. Now, I presume because Saint Augustine is very famous, one of the famous saints in our church, I presume that you already know what happened to the old Augustine. That he was once a wayward young man. He lived a naughty life. He gave a terrible headache and heartache and pain in the heart of his mother, Mama Monica, whose feast we celebrated yesterday. He lived an immoral life, a life full of vices, women, until, to cut the long story short, he left everything. He got baptized, he became a priest, a bishop, and now Saint Augustine. Now, my dear sisters and brothers, what can we learn from Saint Augustine? What do you think? What can we learn from him? And this is the point. Do not forget, please. This is the main point, that we must be honest in front of God and of others as to how sinful we are. We must not be like the hypocrites. We must be honest. We must be transparent before God and before others as to how sinful we are. Otherwise, God cannot help us and we cannot change our lives. Because honesty is the first step towards change. Now let me illustrate through a true story about one of the well-known painters in history. The name of the painter, the artist, is William Holman Hunt. William Holman Hunt. I would like you to imagine his painting. He painted a picture of Jesus knocking on the door of a house. So please imagine Jesus Christ standing and his hands knocking on the door of a house. Now after he finished his work, he showed it to his fellow artists and challenged them, look for the mistake in my drawing. I challenge you, you look for the mistake in my drawing. But unfortunately, his fellow artists said, Sir, we can't find any defects in your drawing, in your painting. Sir, it's a masterpiece. It's perfect. And it made Holman Hunt sad, because they were not able to detect the mistake he intentionally did to his painting. Until one day, a young artist finally said, Sir, excuse me, sir, I think I found the mistake in your drawing. So, Holman Hunt excitedly asked, What is it? What is it? You forgot to put a doorknob on the door. I printed the actual painting You cannot see it from afar. This is the actual painting. This is the actual, you can actually search this in Google Images. You can search this in Google later. This is the actual painting of Holman Hunt. Jesus knocking on the door of a house, and indeed, there is no doorknob. No doorknob outside. And it made Holman Hunt happy. Why? Because he said, do not forget this. If you can memorize, the better. He said, yes, young man, I intentionally did not put a doorknob on the door because this is the message of my painting. Listen. When Christ knocks on the door of your heart, it can only be opened from the inside. Gets? Do you agree? Do you agree? When Christ knocks on the door of your heart, it can only be opened from the inside. No matter how powerful God is, if you do not cooperate, if you do not open your heart and help Him change you for the better, He cannot help you. Now, to give you more analogy, have you been to a doctor? Have you been to a doctor for a medical checkup? What is the first question of the doctor? Sir, ma'am, please tell me what you really feel so that I can treat you. I can give you the right prescription. Otherwise, no matter how summa cum laude I am in my medical school, if you won't tell me honestly what you really feel, I cannot help you. I cannot help you. You need to cooperate, sir, ma'am. That's it. If we are not honest about who we are and what we are, that we are sinners, we cannot change because God cannot help us. God will remain knocking on the door of our hearts. And you know what? One of the reasons why we cannot change is pride. Intellectuals right here, including myself. Intellectuals have pride. And pride hinders us from changing our lives, from being honest that we are sinners. And you know what? When Saint Augustine let go of his pride, because for your information, Saint Augustine was a very intellectual man, very intelligent. One day, he and his friends saw a simple person, non-intellectual, and Saint Augustine said, look at that man, simple and non-intellectual. It is better to be like him because they easily change. People who are simple, who are not complicated, non-intellectuals, they easily change because they easily accept their being sinners. But look at us, intellectuals. We remain swimming in the mud of our sinfulness because we have pride. It is pride that prevents us from changing, from being honest before God. And remember the 3 A's towards change. Do you remember the 3 A's? The first A is awareness. The second A is acceptance. That's it. And the third A, action based on gospel values. But before you can change, you have to be aware and to accept that you are a sinner. Otherwise, you can't change. So I hope We won't be told by God what He told to the Pharisees in the gospel today. What did He say? I hope Jesus won't tell us this. I hope Jesus will not tell us this. What did He say in the gospel? You are like whitewashed tombs, clean on the outside, but full of dirt and smelly dead flesh in the inside. I hope we are not like that. So again, let us be honest. Lord, this is who I am. This is what I am. I am a sinner, a notorious sinner. Help me, and God can help us.